You're probably an early adopter of technology as well, right? I
Yeah,
was
for sure. I think that and as a company, I push it pretty hard. Um, I mean, I've talked about AI a lot on this podcast, but like that's been just a game changer for me specifically. Like it's a tab I literally have open all day every day. And, going back to product data and O&M, it's like, you know, we were putting together, the maintenance manual for appliances. So I literally downloaded all of the appliance specs. I dropped them in chat and I was like, review all of these appliance specifications and tell me the things I need to do to maintain them and maintain warranty. And it's like 15 seconds later, here's the 10 things you need to do. I'm like, that just saved, like, that's 97 pages long that had probably fine print in it that told me I had to change the filter every, 23 and a half days. And here it is, right? Number two on the list.
dude, that's so cool.
So I think that I said to my team, like, it seems foolish because people like you like will be in Slack and someone will be like, hey, we really need to put together an SOP for this. And I'll just copy and paste from AI. And they're like, there's Nick with his AI. I'm like, tell me I'm wrong. Like, tell me that like and it's kind of a joke, but everyone's understanding that this is an opportunity for us to not only stay ahead, but get way ahead of what we consider our competition. And how do we continue to leverage this in a way where, you know, I've been messing with like automation, email automation. I find that to be super interesting. Um, Conditional questioning, I talked about that before. I don't know if it's live on the site, but essentially rather than filling out a contact form, there'll be a conditional questioning form. And basically just ask you, like, what's your name? Oh, hey, Brad, nice to meet you. So what are you trying to do? And based on what you answer, it will guide you down a certain path. And I have it built, I'd say 60, 70% right now where it works. But the intent is you'll get to the end and know whether you're qualified or not. And I listen, there's probably a handful of people listening to this right now, like, yeah, but you're removing the human interaction. I'm not. What I'm doing is I'm saving them time. And that's the way I phrase it. It's like, you're going to just answer a handful of questions and it's going to be the same questions that I'm going to ask you on the phone. And if you get to the end and you feel as though you're disqualified, but still want to talk to me, sure, go ahead. We can hop on a call. I'm going to ask you the same questions. But I'm already going to know that your budget's not big enough. So if we're on the phone and you don't have the budget, what's the play here?
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, people will take as much time as you give them. And for people who are just starting out in the journey to build a house and they have absolutely no idea which way is up, they will take all the time you
mhm.
give them. And the reality of it
Yeah.
is that our time is finite. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I own 5 businesses, and I
Mhm.
just don't have the time to help everyone as much as I want to be.
Right.
And that's not a selfish statement. Like if I could give all of these people this time, I would be happy to do it, but I just don't.
Right.
And the reality is like, and look, conditional is amazing. And I don't know if you're using it in your paid social yet, but it's
No.
beneficial tremendously there, I think. And I think that there's so many uses and applications to move people through the digital marketing play on that, right? So
Yeah.
it's great there. We've not integrated it into more of a chat platform on our website yet. I mean, yes, we are getting many leads to our website, but we're filtering those out the traditional way at this point.
Yeah.
But I look at it this way: where AI is coming into play for us is like, let's say I've got a sales admin, and that sales admin is really the first point of filter. They're doing all the qualification at that point, right? We are
Hmm.
also trying to get to the lowest common denominator with that particular lead, and then we will move it into one of two buckets, right? Like, did it fall into the Bradford category? If not, what was it really a remodeling centric lead? And does it have anything to do with maybe an exterior renovation? If so, then we will automatically refer that to our sister company, Lake City
Hmm.
Exteriors, to go live over there, and then we'll capture that lead from this point of generation, right? So we're
Right.
repurposing and rebranding those leads for other companies that we own. So I'm not saying
Hmm.
we're a marketing house. That's not what we do. There's plenty of those out there, but because we own other
Hmm.
businesses in adjacent construction industry or, commercial and in, service space, we can do that a little bit. And because of the
Hmm.
plentiful amount of leads that we're getting, we just kind of repurpose those, repackage them, and move them into one of those other, businesses, and we benefit from it from that, in that way. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, but the conditional piece is huge, and the AI piece is huge. I'll admit, all of my job descriptions, they've been written by
Yeah.
AI. Why not? I mean, they're amazing. I can craft them exactly the way that I want them, in the tone that I want to them. I can reference
Hmm.
books that I like and have them bring in values that I like from those things. And, Unreasonable Hospitality is one that we're doing right now. So I know that's a book that you've recommended in the past, and it's been great for our team. We do a book club here, so it's like, you know, it's just
Cool.
something that we talk about at the production meeting. We'll say, hey, just give us one point that you read out of the last two chapters, and so I'm kind of like beginning to leverage a lot of that information that we're taking from that culture building exercise, move those into those documents. But AI makes it so fast, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to spend more time on it and to do it any differently. I did.
I think
No
I,
value.
I think a lot of people have an issue with it because they don't understand. I mean, so I built a whole career document, which is every single job description, the roles, responsibilities, and then the things you that you would need to accomplish in order to be considered for the next role up. And I used AI for that, but it literally took me 3 days to put that document together because it wasn't like, hey, give me a career document with every single role and the things like it was this back and forth conversation of, all right, modify this, exactly what you said, like take more cues from this particular book, or take be more specific about the skills they need from a carpentry, like whatever it was. um but what it's doing is it's getting, I'm finding that as it has learned my tone and what's important to me, it's able to get my thoughts out on, quote unquote paper a lot faster. And then from there, I'm just I'm organizing it and maybe making a few modifications and done. Like this isn't AI deciding what the job description is. This is AI organizing my thoughts in which I need the job description to have.
It's so awesome. I mean, I don't know how more people aren't amped up and charged about this, right? Like, if I were thinking about how, the generation prior to us came through, they would have called McKinsey and said, I need a change management consultant to come into my business and spend 3 weeks and do all of this
Hmm.
work. And I'm like, oh, for $100,000, they would do the task that you did in 3 days. It's like, you know,
Yeah. And it's the same thing. It's the romanticism of, doing it yourself. It's like, sure, man, like I could draft up this job description myself. And ultimately, I can tell you right now, it wouldn't be as good. It would have holes in it. It would have, you know, ambiguity. It wouldn't be this clearly communicated thing. And because I've done it, and my team's like, hey, Nick, that's not really in my job description, or hey, I don't really know if XYZ is supposed to be something I'm handling. Now I know it says that. I know what it says, and it's super clear. But it's just, the adoption. So that's why, going back to what you said, it's like I'm just going to try to be an early adopter and get ahead of this. So we're, it's a tool. It's like Buildertrend. It's like any program that you're using. It's not a replacement. It's a tool that should make you a more powerful company, a more powerful individual, um, especially in a world that demands more and more. Uh, and going back to, you said it earlier, is the opportunity to be in the field more, to be part of the team more, to do the stuff that you have fun doing. I don't have fun sitting down and crafting job descriptions. It's not my forte.
yeah, I mean, I want to be sizing up land deals. Like that's you have to prioritize your time. It's like what activity during my day allows me to maximize my output or earning potential. It's like I have to focus on those things. Everything else falls by the wayside, or it's handed off to
Hmm.
somebody who's got to fix price attached to the hours that they're going to perform against the task. It's just, that's the way that it goes, right? So,
Yeah.
with a finite amount of it, I'm going to lever every tool I can.